So hey guys, this is my weekly report for Allenfine Outdoors for January 4th. First of all, Happy New Year's. I want to wish everybody Happy New Year's. And let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've been doing in the fishing industry for over 30 years. When I do these reports, I get all my information from local guides, friends, customers. I'm on the water 3 or 4 times a week. So you know all these things I'm telling you are really current. Also, if you're on your way driving Saturday morning, you could tune your radio to 1140 on the AM dial at 6:40 a.m. and you can listen to me talking on Sep's radio show. And if there's anything I hear that's going on more current, I also talk about that. So let's get on with this report. So first of all, we're having these crazy storms coming through like we haven't had in many years. And it's been dirtying the water up, and the wind conditions are very high. You know, very rarely do we see winds reaching 50, 60 mile an hour like we have in the past couple of weeks. So it's kind of churned everything up. So, you know, usually I start out in the ocean and I don't even want to be anywhere around that place, you know, when we're having this kind of weather. It's just too dangerous. It's not worth it. But some of the things that, you know, these big storms help is it will fill our reservoirs up because, you know, we're way down below level, puts a lot of snow up in the mountains, and, you know, and by the time the spring run comes off, our lakes will be full again. And it hasn't been that way in many years. So it's actually a blessing to see this kind of weather come through here. But one of the things it does do is it sparks up the sturgeon bite. So the sturgeon bite, I think, you know, when we have this kind of weather, is probably one of the best fishes that you would want to probably go after. The eel is available now, so that's probably going to be one of the top baits. So, you know, get that eel and head out, you know, for sturgeon. You could fish it locally. A lot of areas around here, like I've seen guys over at Merritt Island already. I've seen in the Sacramento River. A lot of guys will go up to Knight's Landing, where you can access a lot of these places from the shore. So you can do a lot of sturgeon fishing from the bank. And this is the time that you want to actually go do it. Other things going around the area, the striper action. I went out yesterday, and first of all, I was looking up north, and it's just too dirty to go up there. I did well there last week, but this much water coming down this fast, like the consumers broke a couple levees, all that water came down. It wiped out the North Delta. Over there, Wimpy's and New Hopes, a lot of the trailers couldn't even get out in time. There's trash everywhere up there. It's just too dangerous to be going up there. All that water that flows will actually go, you know, from the consumers, it'll flow westward and south, and it just made everything like a big mud hole. So I would probably stay away from those areas. Like I said, I went out yesterday, but I went to the Port of Sacramento. All the years, you know, I've been here in Sacramento all my life, and when we used to have big storms, and it used to put our river, Sacramento River, really high, flood stage, muddy. The bypass floods, they open Tisdale, gets everything bowed out, but the Port of Sacramento stays clean. And that fishery there used to be unbelievable. And I anticipate this year being that good. We went out yesterday, like I said, and we threw A-rigs. I went with Warren and Dave, they're members over there. And we threw A-rigs, and we had our limits plus some before 10 o'clock in the morning. And the fish aren't real big, you know, they're about 5-6 pounds. But there will be some big ones coming. I think, you know, as soon as everything gets all blowed out, crazy, muddy, all those fish head in there, because I've had some phenomenal days in the port. I've learned how to spoon there. I learned how to throw jigs, swim baits. That's basically where I learned a lot of stuff, because it's the only place where the fishing was any good. So I would highly recommend, if there's a way you could get in there. I know a lot of kayak guys goes in there. You have to belong to Washington Outboard, or you have to come from the other end, which is a long boat ride. But it is a good place to go striper fishing. Other things going to be happening around here with all this rain coming in is probably your choices is lakes. So some of the lakes around here, the big lakes are the ones that you want to actually go fish, because when that water rushes in a big lake, it doesn't muddy it up as fast like Amador. It's so small that, you know, the water coming in, it's going to be very stained and very tough fishing. Other lakes, Comanche, that one very rarely gets blowed out, so I would look at Comanche, Berryessa, Collins. Those are the lakes that, and Boulder's Bar, that I would probably go fish as soon as the weather clears up. Those are some of the areas, lakes that I would go try to catch fish. But the sturgeon fishing, remember, you know, that's probably one of the better areas to go is in the Sacramento River. So other things going on, Berryessa, I'm gonna probably head up there and do some bass fishing, and after the rainstorms like this. And anytime you get a lake where any lake starts rising really fast, as soon as it slows down and starts rising at a slow level, the fish get shallower. They go shallow and they're on the feed, and they'll be, you know, it'll be some of the best fishing that there is that you can do. So rising lakes, remember that always go shallow. So Berryessa is one of the lakes that through the years, me living here all my life, that it turns on early for bass. And also I know I could go there and catch crappie, bluegill, trout, and maybe even salmon. If this lake would turn over, then I imagine all them fish will start coming up shallow, and they'll be catchable, where you can go look at some of the videos I did in the past, like on the landlocked kings. I did trout ones. I did almost all kinds of videos you can watch, and this is really going to help this rain. So, you know, I think as soon as the weather starts settling down and everything, get away from the mud stuff, muddy waters, and go find your clear impoundments, and you'll be able to put in and catch a lot of fish. Other than that, I'm not doing any videos on Mondays. As you notice, I haven't put any out. We're going to wait probably now that we're having all this bad weather. Hopefully, maybe in a couple weeks I'll start doing it. But also, my weekly reports are no longer going to be on Wednesdays. Starting next week, they're going to be coming out on Thursdays. So the weekly reports will be out on Thursday, not Wednesday. Also coming up, January 19th to the 22nd, we have the ISC show at Cal Expo, which I think is going to be very crowded this year. Last year, because of COVID, a lot of the vendors backed out. But it looks like everybody's going this year, so it should be a great show. I'm going to be there on the demo tank. Actually, I'll be on the California Sportsman's with Seth Sanderson talking about catching big stripers on big swim baits on Thursday and Friday. And then on Saturday and Sunday, if you want to see me throw the lures that I use, these big swim baits, I'll be on the tank at Kent Brown's on Saturday and Sunday demoing the big baits, how I catch big stripers. I'll talk about it, especially with the kind of weather we're having. I think it's going to be an excellent year, but it's going to be a little bit later, which is perfect. So come to the show, and hopefully I'll see you out there, and I'll give you some more tips. Also, I should start doing videos by then if I could get out on the water. So I'll see you at Cal Expo, and I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget, hit that like button if you like my videos. Please hit the subscribe. You know, it'll help my channel out a lot. And look on the bottom, there's a little button there, a comment button. You can leave me a comment, and I'll get back with you within 2 or 3 days. So I'll see you at the Sportsman Show, and I'll see you next week.